Well, welcome to the fabulous show. I'm Joy Willett, your host for this week's episode. And today we are going to be talking all about the alchemy of focus. So, are you ready? Let's talk. Welcome to my guests. I'm so excited that you each are here. And before I have you go around and say your name and where you're beaming in from, I just would like to say something for our audiences and for everyone here watching the show, either live or on replay. Today, we are actually dedicating this show about focus to help the world that we're in to bring more peace, strength, compassion, and yes, of course, that beautiful focus that we all know and love how to do. So let's get ready. Jim, I'm going to have you go first. Tell us who you are and where you are.
My name is Jim Poole. I am a human being in from Tampa, Florida.
Wonderful. Great to have you here. Justin.
Hello, everyone. I'm Justin. I'm beaming in from Atlanta, Georgia.
Wonderful. Mary.
Hi, I'm Mary Roberson. I'm beaming in from Gardena, California.
Right in my neck of the woods, too. I'm in Southern California, also, Mary. And Sid. What say you, sir?
Yeah, Sid McNairy over here in Jacksonville Beach, Florida.
Wonderful. Well, this is going to be an incredible show. I know I don't know if we're chomping at the bit yet, guys, right? And gals. However, let's start with our first guest video to set the tone for today's show.
Hello, everyone. It's Justin Bryce here. And the question for today's conversation is, why is alchemy of focus so important? Alchemy of focus is so important because we live in a world full of distractions, and focus, attention, and energy is how we end up creating new lives and changing our lives in some way. It requires focus, concentration, and energy to move into a new life. And it's very similar to the way that a magnifying glass with concentrated light ends up burning through a paper versus defragmented light, distracted energy, unfocused energy no longer creates the burn within the paper. Focus of attention or energy is what directs our awareness or our bodies to a new life. So ultimately, if we want to change our lives in some way, if we want to create a new life, create a new possibility, we ultimately have to focus on that new possibility until it becomes real in reality. I hope you enjoyed today's conversation on the alchemy of focus.
Wow, Justin, that was absolutely fabulous, of course. So I'm going to bring you up here and, here we go. Trying to bring you up here. We're working on it. There we go. So I know some of our audiences know you and love you, of course, and some might not know that you are an actor, a model, a health guru, an entrepreneur. And the question I have, maybe, just answer in a few sentences to keep everything just glowing. Your energy often feels so expansive, especially with everything that you do in your world, and that is taking your attention. How do you keep that focus so it truly alchemizes what you're creating?
Great question, Joy. So I think this all comes back to being present in the moment. So, the brain is an artifact of the past. So, we're really, a lot of times we're projecting into the future our past memories and our past experiences that we've had. So being present is really that moment, that generous present moment is where we can actually begin harnessing our energy in the present moment. And we're no longer being defined by the past. Now we have all of our attention and awareness in the present moment. So for me, when I have a lot of opportunities coming in and different things that I'm working on, it's really about being focused and present with the task at hand that I'm in the moment with. So hopefully that helps the listeners that the present moment is where all possibilities exist. So we really want to begin practicing being present more often, and that allows us to expand our energy out in the moment.
Oh, that is so beautiful. And I will later on ask you to give us a demonstration too. So everyone be prepared. He's going to be sharing some super wonderful things. Thank you, Justin. And right now I do have another video to share, and it's kind of a fun one. And listen to the message, and then I'm going to ask you what you think.
I see the road, it's bending wide, chasing dreams I can't let slide. A spark ignites, I feel alive. Plans in my pocket, fire in my chest. Every step forward, no time to rest. Goals, vision, action, that's my way. Building tomorrow from today. Goals, vision, action, it's my drive. Living the dream while I'm alive. Clouds may gather, storms may rise, but I keep climbing, chasing skies. The finish line's where truth resides. Hope in my fingers, grit in my hands, turning my whispers into demands. Goals, vision, action, that's my way. Building tomorrow from today. Goals, vision, action, it's my drive. Living the dream while I'm alive.
Wow. So, gosh, I'm feeling very energized from that song. It's I'm ready to take off here. And so I want to share our next guest video, and then we're going to have him come up and talk a little bit about how he creates focus even when he's traveling around the world.
My name is Jim Poole, and focus is very important to every aspect of my life, as it should be for you as well. As a business person, focus allows me to be intentional, efficient with my time, and really understand where I should be applying my time and attention. When I travel on business, the same holds true. I travel a lot. When I'm traveling, I want to know, why am I here? What do I need to accomplish while I'm here? And stay focused on the outcome I'm trying to achieve. At home, focus is even more important to me. Why? Been married for 32 years. One of the keys is being able to focus on my wife. Be self-aware, be observant, be a good listener. Be present for her needs and be connected to her. Same holds true for my 3 children. I want to be there for them. I don't want to be distracted. I don't want to be thinking about other things when I'm in their presence. Same for my extended family, my twin brother and his family, my mom, my dad, my friends. Focus is also important when I'm exercising. What's the outcome I'm trying to achieve? Let me focus my intention, my energy to deliver that outcome. Focus on nutrition and decisions I make in my lifestyle. So when we think about focus, it permeates every aspect of our life. It's a very important key to us being successful, happy, and fulfilled.
Well, Jim, you certainly do an awful lot within your world, in, your personal world, as well as your external world. And so what I'd like to do is have you come up, and for our guests and viewers here, Jim is the CEO and founder of an international Neuro acoustic app that is helping people all around the world. However, what I do want to ask you, Jim, right now, you've walked through so many layers of life and leadership. How do you keep that focus and maintain resilience and that peace in the midst of everything going on in your world personally and externally, even while you're traveling?
Great question. Resilience comes from my ability to downregulate on demand, and you already know my secret weapon. Joy is the cheat code for many people, and it's called New Calm. With a mobile app and a headphone, I can lay down, put an eye mask on. Within 4 minutes, my brain's oscillating at 4 hertz. My body's healing. My cells are restoring. Oxygen's going to my prefrontal cortex. I get up. I'm thinking and feeling like a monk and acting like a capitalist. So that's the resilience side.
Okay.
That's a daily habit for me. I did it today at 12 o'clock. On the focus side, what people should understand, and we don't because we're not told this, your brain, behavior, thought, mood, and action is directly correlated to the frequency of your brain. Focus is a specific frequency. It's 18.4 hertz specifically, and it's in the range of 15 to 20 hertz. 12 to 13 hertz is beta, but it's kind of low energy. You're awake and alive, but low energy. 15 to 20 is focus. 20 to 25 is stress, 25 to 30 is high stress. So when your frequency is going high, you're distracted, you're agitated, you're getting less oxygen to your brain. But at 18.4 hertz, ladies and gentlemen, is the perfect equation because there's no space for distraction. You're not amplified and your amygdala is not activated, so you're not worrying about anything and you're intentional in your thought. I use focus with a headphone or a speaker in my office almost every day. Tomorrow when I'm flying, it'll be on my headphones and I'll be working with the opportunity to be dialed into 18.4 hertz with no effort on my own because I wouldn't know how to get there.
Well, whoa. Okay, so for those who don't have a headset, if you were to know how to create that, Jim, and I know you do, how would you do it without what are some of the ways in your
breath?
Yep.
Breath.
Okay. What
nutrition,
else? Yep.
Intention. So when I wake up in the morning, my wife and I walk, we swim, we do our exercise, we have our morning nutrition. But even on that walk, I'm intentionally focusing on what do I want to accomplish that day. Of all the silvery fish and all the things I could focus on, what do I have to focus on today to make it an accomplished day, to feel good when I lay my head on the pillow at night that I've accomplished what I intended to do. Not all the things, because it's almost impossible. Right, but nutrition, intention, and breath, and allowing me to just stay in that lane.
I love it. And it's kind of like that on Justin's video, if you guys remember, and Jim, that laser focus, right? Where the flame starts to crackle. That's that point of creation on an all chemical basis. And we're talking about the alchemy of focus, right? And thank you, Jim. That was, it's exciting to hear about what you are doing, which is absolutely amazing, what you're bringing to the world. And then also for those of us or who may not have that, those simple ways too are jewels and gems for our audience also. So thank you. Yay. All right. So now, Let's see. Anyone else want to? Let's see. Mary, what say you about what Jim just brought in to the picture there? I'm going to bring you in here.
Whoa, he said a lot, and I agree with just everything he said. Yeah, family is very important. You have to focus on your family. Intention is important. Yeah, I can't say anything better than what he said. Everything just works. Yeah.
Well, since you can't say anything right now, maybe you will after we show this. Hold on, everyone.
Hi, my name is Mary Roberson. I was asked to talk to you about focus. Focus is important to me because without focus, I would not have been able to complete a marathon. For approximately 10 years, I trained and I completed 12 marathons. I started in 1994 with the LA Marathon, and I ended up doing 8 LA marathons, a San Francisco Marathon, a Hawaii Marathon, a Paris, France Marathon, and a Chicago Marathon. But I didn't just start running marathons. I trained first. I trained 6 days a week for 6 months. When it was pouring rain outside, I trained. When it was beaming hot outside, I trained. When my body was sore and aching from previous days of training, I trained. I did training runs. I did 5Ks. I did 10Ks. I did half marathons. I did 18 milers to prepare my mind and my body for that 26.2 mile run. So when the marathon came, I was ready. I was ready because of focus. It would not have been possible without focus.
Well, gosh, Mary, that is incredible. You have this soft, compassionate manner and voice. You go out there and chase marathons running around the world. So how do you keep that focus? What can you share with our audience and our fellow guests here?
You know, Joy, I started off, my intention was just to lose weight or to maintain my weight. But once I did that first marathon, I saw that people were watching me, and I knew that I had to do more and I couldn't quit. I had a very young child at the time, and it was about family, setting an example for him so that when he grew up, he knew how to pursue a goal. So, I mean, back to what he said, it's all about family. It's all about intention. And as a result of all of those years of training, it's helped me live a better life of focus. When I wanted to buy property, I knew how to plan for it, how to accomplish it. It's just all those things. So it changed my life, to be honest with you, running those marathons. And I have to make a correction. I said I ran for 10 years. I did marathons for 10 years. It was actually only 8 years, and I did those 12 marathons in 8 years. So yeah, by that time, my son was pretty much set. So the focus was off of him. It was more on me.
Wow. So, that is, and you had a reason, you had an intent, you had that passion with the family, like Jim was talking about. Justin, what about you? I want you to, share your thoughts on what Mary just shared, having that focus, that passion. What do you want to say about what we just heard from our dear Mary here?
Yeah. Well, what I took away from your story there, Mary, it's a becoming process, right? To arrive at the marathon, you don't go ahead and just say, I'm going to do a marathon and I'm just going to be a marathoner. There's a process to become a marathon athlete, right? You started with 5Ks, 10Ks, right? A progression to ultimately arrive at the capability to be able to run for a marathon, right? And I think that's so important to talk about in this day and age, is that, yes, you can quantum leap. Yes, you can go ahead and create quantum leaps where you collapse time and space and create your creations a little bit quicker. But let's not avoid the work. There's work that has to be done to arrive at that vision. And that work is, it's a becoming process and an unbecoming process, right? It's letting go of who you were in the past to become now the marathoner. So for me, I relate to that with the biking across America. For those that, have heard me speak on these before, cycled across America with almost no training. And for me, that was a big quantum leap. I didn't really bike at all prior to that. Ended up biking 71 days, 4,000 miles from coast to coast. But throughout that journey, I was evolving and becoming a Trans-America cyclist that was able to bike across. So for the listeners, don't avoid the work. You have to, there's work that has to be done to arrive at becoming the version of you that is capable of accomplishing big things.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I want to hear from Sid, because Sid, you have similar ways to focus in with your body, right? So tell us a little bit more about, what you do to do that for our listeners. We'll bring you up here. Yay.
So when it comes to my body and healing it and keeping it attuned, most people have no concept of my age. I work at turning the clock back, and it's something I've been privy to since I was 3 years old, is being in that energy of things. And so when I look at what is really a staple in my life is my devotion to God and my 47 years of meditating. That because I sit every morning for 2 hours right over there, and I love that it's always in this view. That's it. Nothing else really matters in that space for me, because I know that every morning I'm going to wake up, sit down, and set up my day right from there going forward. So that's the secret sauce for me is my meditation practice.
I love that. I love that because, I know you were awarded the Nobel Peace Ambassador award last year in Sweden, right? Which
Yes.
was a very big deal. And let's hear from you here. You got some other things to share, don't you?
Sid McNairy here. And I'm excited for this conversation, and excited because the alchemy of focus is very important to me. After 47 years of meditating, I have seen how everything comes from a thought. So the more I'm focused, the more I can direct my thoughts and move things forward in the way that it serves me. We all know that we're frequency, and what's going on in the frequency, the energy inside of me, your frequency is what you frequently see. So the more I'm direct and know how to guide my thoughts forward and alchemize how I'm putting my energy out into the world, things continue to open up in the direction I desire. So that's why it's so important for me to take the time to sit over here for 2 hours every morning to alchemize myself to be in the alignment of what I'll see in the world.
Well, that's super inspiring. Absolutely. I agree, Tamara. Meditation is powerful. And also, I want to acknowledge Teresa Snyder's comment before that Teresa, you've run 2 half marathons. Yay for you, too. I just want to acknowledge our audience and our beautiful family here on the fabulous show and their comments. So we're going to come back to you, Sid, and everyone. However, Jim, what did you get from listening to Sid? What stood out for you by watching?
Sid, Justin, Mary. I think what stands out to me is the concept of addition by subtraction. It is impossible to focus if you've got stuff going on. As Joy likes to call it, stuff. What does that mean? If you're not at peace with yourself, if you're in a constant state of agitation, if you're in conflict interpersonally, if you're not connected socially, if you're not well nourished, if you're not sleeping well, you can fake it till you make it, but you'll focus for about 5 minutes. So the key here is what I'm hearing as a universal theme is the opportunity to become connected with ourselves, to gain self-awareness, to become grounded to the earth, the magnetic rotation, all the things that historically kind of seemed woo-woo, we're coming full circle. Meditation's been around for 3,500 years. we're coming full circle. And the key to even entertain the idea to focus is you have to become grounded, self-aware, and express your soul in the connective universe before you can even entertain that. So to me, it's addition by subtraction. Take care of the garbage first. Clean that up, whatever that looks like. Meditation, swimming, exercise, prayer, it doesn't matter. Whatever works for you, but clean it up. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself frustrated and filled with cortisol and high frequency trying to focus on anything.
Yeah. Super, super good, Jim. Super good stuff. Yeah, focus, clean up your stuff, whatever that means, and focus like that laser beam. We've got a special announcement, though, coming up right now, so stay tuned right now. Here it is.
From our hearts to yours, glory or grace, we're here to celebrate this day. Another year of love and light, you shine so brightly, what a sight. With every laugh, with every cheer, we're so glad to have you here. Happy birthday, Gloria Grace, fabulous joy, lights up your face. From the Fab family near and far, you're a shining, guiding star. We wish you love, we wish you cheer, a fabulous birthday, year after year.
Well, happy birthday to Gloria Grace Rand. Yes, Tamara. And her birthday is actually tomorrow. And she's one of our, oh, there she is. Yay. There you are, Gloria. And she is one of our Fab Five hosts. Yes, Caroline. Yes, happy birthday. And then also, Mary, I don't know if you noticed that we put in happy birthday, Mary, in that little video to you because your birthday was on September 11th. So happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Also.
Thank
You're welcome. You're welcome. So let's see. We're going to do something. We're going to play another beautiful song. And then when we come back, I want to hear from everyone, our studio audiences too, and live comments here are beautifully welcome, but also from our guests, how this strikes you. Here we go.
It's not just will, it's a higher tune,
A frequency rising, carrying me through. This is the alchemy of focus, turning silence into gold. Every heartbeat keeps me honest. success begins. Where distraction ends, success begins. This is the alchemy, the fabulous alchemy of focus. The fabulous alchemy of focus.
All right, all right. Well, I'm going to ask Justin, I want to ask you, sir. So, with everything going on in our world, when the world is getting stirred up, how do you use focus as a way of coming back to yourself and actually as a living practice? What say you, sir?
Oh gosh. Okay. So yeah, as I mentioned in the first clip there, I think we're living in a world, full of distractions. I think we can all agree with that. Social media, the news, all of that. And I think the more that we place our awareness or our focus on what we're being presented with, the more that we create that reality. And I think for me and for the listeners as well, and all the speakers, is we need to be, well, we don't need to do anything, but we should maybe begin thinking about a different future. We need, as a collective, and I think that's what great leaders do, is they create a vision that everybody can see. And when everybody can see that and believe that vision, it becomes more possible that it becomes reality. So if we want a world in which there's peace and love and community and less violence and whatever it is that we see as an ideal world, we all need to begin focusing on that as individual consciousnesses, or individual observers. And the more that we observe that as a collective, that new vision, the more that it becomes reality. So for me in the day to day, what that looks like, very similar to Sid, is spending some time in the morning, getting centered, grounded to the heart, and allowing the heart to guide the vision to the brain of what's possible. And the heart has a very different consciousness than the lower energy centers. The heart can see visions that are connected to higher potentials. So that's something that I do on my day to day, is just taking a moment for the heart, going inward to the heart, putting my awareness on it, and focusing on that.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, let's do that right now, everyone. Justin, you want to lead us just quickly? Like, you can put your hands on your heart. We can breathe. Something to just really bring us into that beautiful focus, intention, and heart space.
All right, we could place our hand on our heart and just put your awareness or your energy inside of your heart, and just breathe into your heart, in through the front of your heart, out through the back. And just allow your heart to expand, remembering that there is a love within your heart that connects you to everyone and everything. Just one more deep breath here, in through the heart. And exhale through the heart. Whenever you're ready, you can come back to this environment, to this space, and to this time.
Beautiful. Beautiful, Justin. Thank you so much. That was very, very wonderful. And I'd like Mary now to share a little bit about how do you maintain your focus with everything again going on in the world. What are your magic tricks to share with all of us here today?
Okay. Wow, that was deep. As a result of running marathons, I've developed the habit of exercising regularly. So most days I get up, I do a workout online. It's about an hour long. Days that I don't do a workout online, I go for walks. I walk the neighborhood. I think about my day. I think about my family. I think about what I need to do during the day. Um, I think about my grandchildren. I think about the life that they're going to have. Um,
Hmm.
it's overwhelming sometimes, but my goal is to leave a legacy for them of exercise and happiness. So
Hmm.
that's my focus. I go to see them. They live in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm fortunate enough because of this marathon training and this focus to be able to afford a home out there where I can go and visit them for whatever length of time I choose to go because I work for myself and I can
Hmm.
go for months at a time. That's my focus. My family's my focus.
Your family, yay! It's
Family.
it's
Yeah.
beautiful, and that's how you started doing your marathon running too, as you shared.
Yes.
So right now, I'm going to have Jim come up and share when I get him moved over here. Wait a minute. Let's see. There we go. Hi, Jim. Um, because family, yep, family is a big focus for you. And I happen to know you have a gorgeous family and you talked about them in your video and before. So, what do you want your legacy to be with respect to your family? With respect to, in a few sentences.
Connection,
Mm,
love,
mm,
respect, knowing, intrinsically we're born with the necessity to receive the love of our mom and dad. It's in our DNA. But that's out of necessity. I want them to know that their dad had unconditional love for my 23, 21, and 18-year-old daughters, that I support them in their endeavor. I pay attention to them. I have a lot of compassion for the challenges that they face. But for me, when things seem chaotic, and they often do, I just stand back down to my roots, the purpose of what I'm doing with New Calm and my mission, but my time with my wife, my anchor with my wife, and my three daughters. And then things just seem safer. They seem more acceptable. Hope gets reinstilled, and
oh,
then the
oh,
determination to make a difference.
I love that. I love that phrase. Hope gets reinstilled, Jim. That's beautiful, beautiful. And before we come back to hear Sid, I've been seeing some purple hearts. So there's something special about purple hearts in our fabulous five family. So let's listen to this and come back. So, our Purple Hearts Club, for those who are watching this for the first time, is specifically about one person that started it, who started the Purple Pen, and she is no longer with us. So we remember her and those who have left us with love in our hearts and just the knowledge that we're going to continue and carry on for ourselves as well as for others. And so, Sid, now I'd like you to come up, sir, and share what you're doing as a legacy, as your primary focus, and how it is going to be alchemizing also the world. And we'll spin it around again around the block with each of us. Thanks.
At one point, when we hit the road and had sold everything and traveled for the year and 32,000 miles and several countries and all those things, I came into the awareness of why my purpose and what I really wanted to leave behind. And when it comes to, you asked Jim about his family, and, I have my 3 children and all the people that are in our family. My grandmom had 21 siblings. I look at my life as I'm meant to simply evolve into the creator's purpose for me. And that's it. That's my legacy, is to reach that full on expression of why I'm here. And which then looks like the mission of peace. That's how it led me to an award I didn't even know was in the world, the World Peace Award. I didn't know there was an award to receive. It's just, I'm on my purpose, and bringing people to that place is the legacy I plan to leave behind.
That's beautiful. Beautiful, Sid. And yeah, just following who you are, right? As a focus, following who you came here to be, right? So, Justin, I'd like to ask you, what is well, you shared a practice already that we can do. However, can you share a moment where you had to really focus, as an example for our audience and for us here listening with you, where you had to use that focus on the turn of a dime
Yeah.
to get you? Yeah, you know it already. I could tell.
Yeah, there was a pivotal moment when I was cycling across America. When I was biking across America, there was a point a week or two in where, physically my body was really beat down, and I didn't think it was really possible to complete, going 4,000 miles across the country all on a bike, living 6 days of the week off the bike, and all that's involved with that. And there was a moment where I had a sense of clarity where I knew that if I didn't do something internally with my mind, I wasn't going to be able to complete it. And in that moment, I, went back to meditation and remembered all the things I learned about visualization and mental rehearsal and how that can help heal the body. So there was a moment there where every morning I decided to wake up and meditate prior to biking for the 5-6 hours a day that we were cycling, where I would envision us finishing the bike ride all the way at the end point, seeing us touch tires in the beach in Tybee Island, Georgia, raising money for charity, all of that. And that focus, that clarity, that vision that we can create in our mind, if we get really involved with it, it can become so real, so tangible, where you feel it. And you feel it while you're sitting down with your eyes closed. And, talking about legacy, that's something that I certainly want to leave behind, is helping people understand that they can harness the power of their mind through visualization, through mental rehearsal, and begin feeling the emotions as if it's already had happened. And that emotional signature that you're feeling ultimately is creating the energy or the consciousness of the actual reality as if it's happening now. So that was for me, Joy, a moment where I knew that if my body wasn't going to be able to do it, spirit had to lead meditation. So
I love that. I love that. And I'm sure a lot of people, yes, write that down. Hold, please, hold, please, hold, please. Write that down. That is flaming fabulous. Yes. And I love our comments here today, too. And Teresa's dad was a cyclist also. Teresa, I'm acknowledging that, too. So let's piggyback off of that. And so, Jim, for you, what say you, sir, where you had to overcome or you had to quantumly create what you wanted to create through your mind, your heart, your passion. Can you give us just one example? One example.
Sure.
I know it's like a whole lifetime of it, but yeah.
In 2009, I took on the role of CEO, chairman of the board, and president of a neuroscience company. Extracted the brilliant inventions out of the brain of an incredibly gifted quantum physicist, naturopath with Asperger's. 2 years into this venture, I went through a corporate crisis with lawsuits and all this craziness. And my lawyer said, Jim, you don't need any of this. Go back to Wall Street and do what you were doing. And what we had determined the possibility to take a neuroscience product and liberate humans from the clutches of stress and the power of the amygdala and the reptile brain and take care of 8.4 billion people. One person who had a narcissistic bend on life and a sense of whatever she had wasn't getting in the way. So I began to put my feet into the ground and say, no, this is worth fighting for. Justice is not often the law, and the law is not justice. I refuse to allow this to happen because many people will suffer the consequence of this not. So it took 6 months. It took acquiescing. It took a lot of biting my tongue till I was bleeding down my chin. But I stayed true to the cause, and I would do it all over again because it's the best journey I've been on. And when you find your purpose, as everybody on this call knows, you never work a day in your life. You just figure out the important things I need to do to accomplish the path I'm on.
I love that, Jim. Thank you. And thank you for not giving up, for keeping the faith, for going forward. Yay. And so, Sid, I'm going to have you come in. I see you nodding and going, yes. Tell us that one instance where you had to make that really big shift. I think this is really important today because we are in dramatic times, folks. This is just part of where we are. So, Sid, share that moment of magic where you just went, yes.
Well, you know, what comes up for me is one, there was many, but what lands in this moment is why I keep peace. A lot of people think, how do you keep peace in all these moments? Most people have no clue that it's because if I don't, I already know what happens to my body. You know, I lost my sight for the second time in my life in 2022. Wow. So going blind, had no choice but to, all right, how am I gonna navigate this? How am I going to teach? How am I going to speak? How am I going to do everything that I'm going to do if for some reason I don't get my sight back? And so that was a very pivotal moment. And when I finally was able to see in one of my eyes, and I realized that I wasn't seeing the beauty of the God's world. And so it began to really set in that I needed to look at things differently. Ooh. Which then moves me beyond that space of how things are, you know, the worries of what's going on in the world and all of that. It's like, it's not that big a deal compared to losing my sight.
You know what I'm hearing from you on that one, Sid, and thank you for sharing that. That's powerful, is that you found that inner sight. That inner sight came forward to give you that focus. That's incredible. And so I've just got a couple of moments here. And Mary, I'd like you to jump in and share on that whole thought about inner sight and finding that passion within, whether it's running those 12 marathons and getting up, or raising your son by yourself, or going to be there with your grandchildren. What do you pull forth as that creates that alchemy of focus? Just in a few sentences here, because we are unfortunately getting close.
You know, I feel like I'm such a baby in the eyes of these men because they've accomplished so much. And although I was a single mother raising my child, I feel that I've had a very easy life. All I had to do was live a positive life, set a good example, talk to my child, listen to him, his concerns, tell him that I had his back no matter what the teacher said. If he explained it to me, I would listen to him. But they're saying so much, and it's giving me chills. Intention is just set the example, just live a good life, be positive, and the world, your child, your children, your grandchildren will see it, they will feel it, and they will reflect that. The what motivates me, and that is what I live for, just to be a positive example for them.
And you sure are. And I have a feeling these esteemed gentlemen here would also honor you for being a single mom, for racing 12 marathons internationally, and just every day getting up and showing up. I mean, showing up every single day. Isn't that the purpose of even being alive, and showing up how we show up? So one word from each of you, just one word, because we are coming to the end of our fabulous show. One word that you wanted to gift to our audience today. Jim, let's go first with you, sir. Just one word.
Love.
Ooh, yay. All right. Thank you. Justin.
Vision.
Vision. Cool beans. Cool beans. Sid.
Create.
Create. Okay. And Mary. One word.
Happiness.
Woo. It feels like we could put all of those words together. Love, vision, create, and happiness, right? All together, so that it creates the end result. Because isn't that what the alchemy of focus is all about? It's about creating what you want to create here. Whether it's that love, whether it's a beautiful business that's inspiring the world and helping the military, like Mr. Poole is doing, and Sid is bringing the message of peace to the world and sharing it and showing it. Mary is exhibiting strength, resilience, and dedication through her physical endeavors and her heart. Oh, I love that. Love vision, Caroline. And Justin is showing us how to also move through our heart space and bring ourselves back into that special focus, so that we can be the light in this world today, folks. Each one of you out there, and my beautiful guests here, thank you so much for showing up and being here with us, because in this world we all have the opportunity to choose how we're going to focus. Are we going to focus that it's a peaceful world, or is it a hostile world? In the sayings of Albert Einstein, we get to quantumly create. So next week, you're going to have an incredible show coming. However, this week, I invite you all to practice the fabulous alchemy of focus and see what happens in your lives, and more importantly, in your own heart. Thank you so much.